Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to talk about a slightly difficult book to really review, and it is the latest DC Black Label print, as you can see from the title. This is Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity. First of all, written by Kemi Garcia with artwork by, I hope I pronounce this right, Miko Suyan and Mike Mayhew. The artwork, fantastic, absolutely stunning. I've really enjoyed a lot of the Black Label artwork. I thought it was beautiful, a lot of it. This in particular has an interesting way of dealing with things in that the main story is actually in black and white, and then you do actually have flashbacks which are then in colour. And look at that artwork, that is beautiful, it really is. That is probably about as far as I can go for the good things of this book. The first thing I did notice straight away was that it is very, very thin. Now if we compare that to maybe Harley, the last book, incredibly different. Like I've said before, when it comes to Black Label prints, these are meant to be a prestigious title with a really well-known creator that's looking at more adult themes. They're wanting to play with a lot of different aspects, the format. So I'm more than happy to pay a premium price for a good product. Artwork, fantastic. I'll talk about the content in a minute. But I don't think there is quite enough there to warrant the premium price. Plus, unlike the other DC Black Labels, which I believe are mostly all 3 parts, Batman Damned was 3-part series, Last Night on Earth, 3-part series. This one is actually 9 parts. So this is the first issue of a 9 mini-series. It worries me a little bit that, because I think you might end up getting a little bit bored by the end of it. But again, that I'll come into in a minute. So spoiler-free, overall, it's okay. It's not amazing. I have a lot of issues with it. If you go in expecting a Joker and Harley story, you will be disappointed. It's a Black Label print, which means it is an Elseworld comic. But I've looked at the Black Label print as being Elseworlds, but still true to the characters. This is an Elseworld to the nth degree, where I don't believe these are the actual characters anymore. And that is a bit of a shame. I honestly think this would be a better book if you had it set in Gotham, but you had a completely different protagonist looking for a completely different antagonist. So the book would be great if it wasn't Joker and Harley. I think the title and those characters hold it to an expectation where it doesn't actually deliver. So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about spoilers. So if you haven't read it, or if you don't want to hear about spoilers, I'll give you a minute to get away. If you don't mind about spoilers, and if you want to hear maybe a little bit more in depth, let's do about 3, 2, 1. Okay, so first of all, like I said, these characters are not the Joker and Harley. Harley obviously is a psychologist. She, in the majority of stories, like I said, I will keep referring to Harley because I do think that is a fantastic book. She's looking at reforming inmates from Arkham, and that's true to her character. This, like I said, it's an Elseworlds to an nth degree where she's not a psychiatrist, she is a forensic profiler. So she's still got the the psychoanalytical background, but she uses it more to profile killers. And there is another problem with that, because they are pitting her against the Joker as a serial killer. The Joker, I would say Joker is more of an anarchist. He's thoughtful in the way he does things, but he wants to break down society. He wants to break down a lot of the structures that are in place. I do not see him as a serial killer who will be planting bodies, planting evidence, and making scenes of a crime that you would then need a profiler for. I look at him as being, if he kills people, it's a gun, it's a knife, it's obviously him, but he doesn't care about the chase. For him, it's about destroying, like I said, destroying society. I have an issue where they have turned him into this, what looks like a Hannibal Lecter character, and I do think that is a valid comparison with this book. I do think this is a Hannibal-esque kind of book, where you have either Clarice Starling in Harley Quinn with the Hannibal Lecter Joker, and I don't think that fits well with the characters, and unfortunately it lets it down a bit. I think the story would be good if you didn't have those characters of Joker and Harley. It seems like a very good story. It's a very good structured story from start to finish. It's very detailed. Cami Garcia obviously has definitely a knowledge of the forensic field of profiling, and it's interesting when she talks about other serial killers throughout history, and it's that I find very interesting. This book seems like it was catered towards someone like myself who does enjoy the sort of the police procedurals. I did study forensics at uni, so I do have that as a background as well, and I enjoy that kind of thing. However, like I said, if you didn't have Harley as the main character and you didn't have her going after Joker, I think this would be a better story. Have an original character of a forensic profiler going after someone like Zaz, Calendar Man, someone that you can twist the character just a little bit more into someone who can be a sociopath and a serial killer. Joker, I don't think you can do that for. And there are other things that they've done with the character. Harley doesn't like the police. She has a very bad... her roommate is killed, and this is in one of the flashbacks, and then that was 5 years ago. Now 5 years into the future, she's now a profiler. She has this bad relationship with the GCPD, and she doesn't treat them well. Now I don't think that's a particularly good representation to have, really. When you have a forensic profiler, they would generally have a good relationship with the police, because you would need to work closely. You would need to look at a lot of different factors, and you need to know the police. And it's a shame that she can't keep those emotions separate, that she wants to just antagonise, it seems, the police quite a lot. I'd find it different if she had that kind of relationship with a fair few of the GCPD, but then maybe Bullock or Gordon she was okay with. But it seems like she paints them all with the same brush of they're all incompetent, they're all awful, and that's a shame. It's... Now, I like I said, I understand Cami Garcia, the writer of this, wanted to do something that was a real world thing. And it's an interesting thing to do, it is. But I don't think it, like I said, I don't think it works well with the characters. Overall, it's okay. It's not great. I would definitely prefer this without the name Joker and Harley. I would much prefer it as a standalone comic about Gotham. Similar to, I haven't read Gotham Central, but similar to something like Gotham Central, where you are looking from the perspective of the GCPD and how they deal with with situations. I think that would have been a better way to tie this into Gotham, to tie this into DC, and that would also be a DC Black Label. Like I said, unfortunately, I think it's tied too much to the two big names that are on the front cover, and for that reason, it for me just falls just a little bit flat, which is unfortunate. But I will keep going. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to hope that it does maybe get a little bit better, that you see more of the characters come out as the story goes along, hopefully, and I'll keep you guys updated. If you have read Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think if you have, or if you haven't read it, if you want to read it, or if you don't. And also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really, really does help me out. So, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.